Hi everyone, this is Fawaz and welcome to my new video. Today I am going to show you how to store more than 2000 items in a PowerApp collection. This is a common challenge for many PowerApp developers. So let us start. So in our case, the data source is SharePoint. Here you can see one employee list. We have 3023 records are here. So we are going to store these employee items in our PowerApp collection. So before I'm starting this, I just want to show you what is in the employee list. In this employee list, you can see title, ID and new ID. So why I added one extra column to this list? Because this column contains copy of the ID field. So the reason is, so whenever we are going to do some comparison operation and all, the ID column is actually a non-delegable field, the default ID column. So that's why I created a new ID column because we required this thing to compare in our operations. So if you check in the Microsoft blog, here you can see in the MSDN side, here you can see they specified that the SharePoint ID field for a table is a number field in PowerApp, but SharePoint only support the equal operation for delegation. So that's why I have added separate ID column. And I just created like a new, this is actually a number type. So I created new column with number type, then just updated the existing ID to the new one. So we had to do this thing to work with the collection. So now I am going to jump into our Power App. So the first thing we have to check that here you can see Power App collection is actually not fully delegable. So what I mean by this, I will show you. Like here, if I go to on select property, so one more thing before, here I already added our data source employee. Okay, so now if I go to on select, here I'm going to set one variable, set, and the collection name is, I'm just putting some collection name, new collection or something. Okay, now I'm copying our data source employee. Now if I play this one, here you can see we copied the collection. But so what is the problem here? I will show you. Now if I come here, so let me add one more value, just the count. Okay, so set count collection. I just want to show you the count, so that's why. So here I just selected the count because I want to see the count rows, collection name. Okay, now I will give this variable here so we can see that. So in the text field, just giving this one here. So now let me try here. Here you can see only we got 500. So why means here in our settings, if you go to our data row limit, based on this only the collection store value. So here if I change to 2000, okay, so now I change to 2000, but you know the max is 2000. So that's why we can only store up to 2000 record in the collection. So now if I close this one and if I play here, let me collection I need to clear. So if I play here you can see the count is only 2000. So that is the reason only we can able to store 2000 in the collection. So now let us start our actual implementation. So how we can overcome this limitation. So now I have just Okay, so this is our actual implementation screen. So before I'm going to show you, let me just change the settings again. So just want to show you. So we'll change to 500, the previous one. So let me close this one. So now I will just run the code once. Then I will explain you the implementation thing. So let me, now I'm just showing the final collection count here. So here you can see I got almost 3023. So the almost same 3023. Okay. So it is same. So now I will show you the implementation. The first thing I'm just storing the first record here. Okay. So I will get the first of our employee table. So here you can see I got the first record. Then I'm just fetching the last record. Okay. So the next thing, so here you can change up to 2000 because I think that is the maximum we can give. So here we are doing as a batches. So whenever you check here, here you can see, because here what happened, here we are just fetching. So it's almost 7 times. Like, so if you get like last item ID, so first item ID divided by 500. So suppose if we change, almost 3000 records are there, right? So 3000 plus records are there. So almost 7 times we have to round up this one. Okay, that is our total loop count. So what actually happening is, the logic is we are just storing as a batches. So first we will store the 500 item in the collection. The next we will add the next 500 item. So like that we are adding here. So now here you can see this is the iteration count. So again here you can see 0 to 6 will be the. So here now the next thing, for all loop. So in the for all loop, what we are doing, like we are just passing the total iterations. Okay, so suppose if you are confused about this roundup or sequence, these all things, I will give the link below. Okay, so you can check like the almost all the functions and all thing. So now here we are just passing all the iteration. So we got the iteration count here. Okay, so now using the with function here, we are just getting the previous id, then the next ID. So the previous ID in the sense, like suppose you can just consider the first item is 0, right? So what will happen? It's 0. So 0 into 500, it will be 0 to, then if you check here, 1 into 500, right? So 0 to 500. So this mathematics, like the next step, what will happen? Then it will check, okay, if last record is greater than that value, we are storing into the final collection. So here I told you, like that's why we changed the ID to new ID, because we have to do some operations. This is the comparison. So that's why we are not able to use the existing SharePoint default ID. So now here you can see, like in the final collection, we are just checking the new ID with the previous ID. So what will happen? The next step, it's again go the loop again. Then first time it will store 0 to 500. Then it will store 500 to 1000. Then 1500 to 2000. So like that, we are getting almost our 3023 records. So I hope you understand actually how I did. Suppose if you have any doubt or something, please comment below. So thank you all.